at some point. Um, absolutely. Yeah. I think um, the fact that he got national, anytime you get a national stage like that, I feel like you're kind of jettisoned to the top. You know, you're on that level. At, I mean, so he's he has as much executive experience now as someone like Pete Buttigieg. Oh, really? I didn't know about his if he was a naturalized citizen or not. Honestly, though, Mom, Donnie, interesting. He was born in Uganda. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's awesome. The family immigrated to South Africa when he was 5. You know what though? I I bet that it changes. Yeah, I bet that it changes. With Trump is going to change the electoral requirements for president, and he already has, and they're just gonna blow right through that. I don't think that it's gonna exactly. Yeah, yeah. Rules. It's found in the United States that you can break any rule that you want as long as you become president of the United States. You have immunity now. That is what is happening. So unfortunately, that is just what you can break any rule that you want to become president of the United States, and as long as you win, you're absolved of any crimes. So um, that's just the reality. Thank you, Alyssa. Um, yeah, Alyssa, they're gonna be the files are gonna be released, but they're gonna be super redacted, and specifically, um, they're specifically going to indict Democrats, not mention Trump once. You know, I mean, obviously. So he's going to they're going to be scrubbing them of any mention of Trump whatsoever, so that he can that they can just blame the Democrats of it for sure. I know it's a good thing for New York City. I think Mamdani. Okay, guys, this is. I think. Look, Mamdani got elected, and this is a good lesson for Democrats. Not on policy, it's not on it's not on any of his policies that he was talking about. No ideological pushing that he was siding with. It was just that he was relatable. He was young. He's relatable. He's a good social media strategy. He's connected to people through social media and videos. He has like fun things where he's like going to dance parties and stuff. His video is really good. His the colors on his social media, like the 70s kind of like retro look, on his stuff makes it look fun and engaging. Um, it's nothing to do with socialism or communism, which is why he got elected, guys. And it's important to realize that, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing for Democrats. It's a good thing because it just shows that you need to have someone that's relatable. It's guys, it's vibe politics. You know what I mean? The problem with the Democrats is that they haven't understood, they didn't understand that, and they're putting out 300-page manifestos about, like, your proper um, healthcare bill. Here's my 200-page plan for healthcare. Nobody wants that. Nobody cares about that. Nobody, and it's actually a bad thing because you're actually opening yourself up to um, to things, to attacks. So it's not a good idea to do that. His sexy candidate and opposite. What's him in power? Yeah. Hi, Ducray. Yeah, Susan. I mean, unironically, they will. I mean, because of his colorful videos and his social media strategy, he will be more connected with the needs of the people. That's just what it is. That isn't a bad thing. Hi, Ducray. What's up? Um, the e-files will prove DJT born outside of the U.S. That's why he guards it with his life. That's interesting, Reckles. I've never heard of that before, but okay. Yeah, I know, Mego. Yes. Prop 50 passed. Democrats actually want to play ball. They actually want to play the game. I'm so excited about that. Let's do that, guys. Let's play the game, please. Finally. Do you think we'll have a Gen Z president in 6 to 10 years? No. I mean, we'll have a millennial president before that. I don't think that like Gen Z will have no. Gen Z doesn't vote that often. Gen Z's like voter turnout's like even less than millennials, I think. So it's okay. I mean, it's not a bad thing. But yeah, not to say that we couldn't have a 35-year-old president, but I don't think that you should. If we followed, the advice and the ideas of Obama, if you are a huge political movement and shaker in this world, or in this political world, why would you stymie your power by becoming president where you're term limited for 8 years when you could have generational shifts like Pelosi or McConnell? And we're talking they've had power over the United States for 20 to 30 years as opposed to 8 years or 10 years like Trump has. So that's the idea. Like you bring your political power into positions that you don't have term limits on, impact that. We have hope tonight. Hope is a prison, guys. I think it's good that people are hopeful, but don't rely on that. Hope is not what you want to hang your hat on. You can't hang your hat on hope. You have to be spurred into action, and you should be motivated in order to get involved. That's what you should be feeling tonight is, what can I do now in order, just like Zoran did, getting involved locally, politically, what can I do in order to get involved? That's what I think. Okay, fair. Gen Z are over it. Yeah, the doomerism is pretty strong, I feel like, with the kids now don't believe in voting. They think it's pointless. Alyssa, I think a lot of that's because a lot of people, talk about voting doesn't matter. That's what they say. That's what people say, and that's what the problem is that people say that voting doesn't matter. So people believe that voting doesn't matter, but obviously it does. Voting obviously does matter, guys. That's why tonight feels different. That's why tonight, when you win an election, it means something. So it's only parties and political parties that are completely outside of power try to demagogue elections because they're like, oh, it doesn't matter that we keep losing, guys. It doesn't matter. But then as soon as Zoran gets anything, now all of a sudden you have like Hassan showing up and giving like an impromptu press conference, right? He has talked about the last 5 years talking about how elections don't matter and it doesn't matter who you vote for, and Trump and Harris are exactly the same. But as soon as Zoran is about to get elected, he's there. He's getting his face known with the media. He's trying to do some pressers. He's trying to get his face going like, hey, this, like, if elections didn't matter, then why was Hassan there? Why did Hassan go from LA to New York to try to suckle at the teat of whatever that election is? It's obviously, it matters, guys. It obviously does matter. And I hope people like Hassan grow up a little bit and actually understand that like elections do matter and this stuff is important, and people coming together and voting collectively does make a difference. We actually have to have a united front against this in order to actually make a huge difference in the world. Hi, Diamond. How's it going? You good, Meg? I'm glad you feel like you can breathe. Yeah. Alessa, we do need a leader for sure. I definitely think that we need a leader to help. I agree, Wonderlust. Tonight does show that voting matters. Nice, Julie. Good job. Voting in California. Nice. Yeah, Hassan Piker. Good. I'm glad you feel hopeful, guys. Christian, I'm happy that you guys feel happy and upbeat, but I'm just saying, like, keep pushing yourself forward. Keep pushing yourself forward to get involved and to get engaged, because this feeling is what you need in order to get involved into politics and actually make a difference. It's absolutely. Oh, what's the reaction to something mentioned in Sudan? Did someone mention that? The 500,000 kids that have died in starvation in Sudan? He mentioned that, Robin? What did they say? It's so sad. USAID is one of the, and the UAE was like the only people that were actually supporting the kids there. Oh, nice, Diamond. Good luck. Good, Christian. I'm glad you feel hopeful. Nice. Yes, Mego. We had two big governor wins. Absolutely. Francis, he's not a socialist. No. Okay, Almighty. Thank you. Well, we'll try to figure out what's going on with the with TwitchCon next year. Yes. Yes, exactly, Mego. Don't let this stop you or get comfortable. Exactly, guys. Stay mad. Keep going. Don't let this lull you into complacency. This is just a rev of the engine. This is not the end. We need to organize and push the momentum forward. Exactly, Wonderless. What did we vote for today? The United States had elections that were so we usually vote in like every even year, but this is an off year election, special election. So this was like mayor races and governor races and props in California and that kind of stuff. Oh, are you serious, Robin? Oh, that's awful. Hey, that's not you're not going to find that here. We care about all the people in the world, and I think that's awful. What's happening? Sudan's not getting enough coverage, and I feel so awful about that. That civil war. 500,000 people, 500,000 kids specifically, have died there, guys. It's awful. The whole region is in civil war, and I have no idea why nobody talks about it. Um, yeah, it's there's nothing, no excuses for it. Francis, no, he's not a socialist. He's not seizing the means of production or any trying to. He's not trying to democratically own any of the workplaces. I think that the only thing that you could possibly say would possibly be the stores because he wants basically a public option for stores that have food. Um, it's so that's the problem. I think that's the rub. Um, Sorry, I was reading other things and saying problem. Um, Basically, I don't think that having a public option for food is necessarily like a socialist policy because you have food pantries already, and we as a country and as a city, we already give people the food options in order to get meals. So like having a city owned store where the state can actually give people an option to get food outside of the profit motive means that the state's own money that they're spending, right, is doesn't have to go through and pay the profits of that business. I think that that's better. I think that that's okay. I know. Oh, Maria. Nice, Maria. That's incredible. That's incredible. New York City is an incredible city. Yeah, I agree, Kenny. You can't run the country like a business. Yeah, for sure, Ellie. Welcome back in. Always here. Thank you. It was Lucky Penguin. It was. It absolutely was. I think I think it's a good thing, you know. I think people need to take these moments and savor them and think about them and cherish them, for sure, and then just keep moving forward. Don't stymie in them. What's up?
Hey,
How's it
Frank.
going?
It's been a while. I
All right.
haven't been on TikTok in a hot minute.
Oh, nice.
Um, wanted to. Unfortunately, it's for sad reasons, but we won't get into those.
Okay.
I'll keep it positive tonight. So first of all, I think it's insanely exciting that I mean, I hope that this is a humongous wake up call to Republicans that Democrats absolutely swept tonight.
Yeah.
I unfortunately kind of doubt that it will be, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But while I am really excited for some of the great stuff that Mamdani is, saying that he's going to do, and I hope that he is able to implement a lot of those positive things.
Yeah.
One genuine concern that I have is I have multiple Jewish friends who are really concerned and scared about his victory.
Why so?
Because there are things that he has said that and done or refused to say and do that they are really worried. So, for example, to specifically condemn the phrase "globalize the Intifada," which is a direct call for violence against Jewish people. And even the Apolitical Holocaust Museum had to come out and condemn him for not condemning that phrase.
Yeah.
They're worried that it's going to lead to an increase in anti-Semitic hate crimes. And I even had a Jewish friend who just moved here recently. He goes, we may genuinely have to look for options to flee in the near future. I pray that they're wrong.
Yeah.
But that is a genuine concern that I have. So I don't know,
Yeah. I mean, New York City is the second largest congregation of Jewish people outside of Israel. So it's a huge, there's a bunch of Jewish people there. I mean, it's a huge portion of the population. Thank you, Noble Sharon. Appreciate you.
No, and I know that there are many Jewish people, especially Jewish celebrities, that are also publicly endorsing Mamdani and are really thrilled about his win. So, I know that the Jewish community is not a monolith. Obviously, I saw somebody in the comments saying I'm tokenizing. I'm definitely not tokenizing. I'm just sharing, the people that I know in my life, what they've said about it. So
I do honestly though, I don't want to belittle anyone or anything, but I don't think that, I think that people think when they're saying globalize the Intifada, they're saying globalize the support for Palestine. They're not actually, it's not a call for violence necessarily. I think I can understand that it could be crass and it could be misinterpreted, and I wouldn't be throwing that around in that, but I don't think that people are genuinely talking about anti-Semitism when they say something like that.
I just think because when you look at the actual historical Intifada, it was a terror
You're not wrong.
attack against Jews.
Yeah, you're not wrong. No. The second Intifada was something that I read about when I was first reading the news for the first time in seventh grade, sixth, 7th grade. Those were the times of the suicide bombings. It was every week, every 2 weeks that there would be a suicide bombing in Israel. And I actually met someone that actually lived in Israel, grew up there, and she said that she couldn't even, she had to be escorted with a family member, and they were really worried about her when she was a kid during that time. And it's awful, but I don't think
so. It kind of follows that if you say globalize the Intifada, you know what I mean.
But not but everyone in my age group was I'm 39, so I don't think that everyone was reading the newspaper at 6 years old or sixth grade or had done the history lessons to know what the Intifada meant. You know what I mean? I think that there would be a more direct call to violence if they were going to do that. And I'm glad that they're not, obviously, right? But I'm not trying to. I think that they're trying to show solidarity.
Yeah, no, and I mean, the thing is, when I said, I'm just talking about my friends who have expressed that, and somebody wrote in the comments, that's the definition of tokenizing. I guess what my question would be, because I actually spoke with those Jewish people, one of the Jewish friends that was expressing that concern, and I said, well, what about Bernie Sanders? He's Jewish, and he's endorsing Mamdani. And then that Jewish friend told me, well, why are you tokenizing with Bernie Sanders? So I'm like,
Yeah, on both
I'm
sides,
like,
your
so
tokens,
which
everything.
is it? You know
Token,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like, but I genuinely hope that, it's all positive and that, anti-Semitism continues to be fought against and that Mamdani can implement some really great things for the city. I hope that would be
yeah.
amazing.
Dude, I think as a marginalized minority himself, he would understand and respect those people that felt marginalized and in the shadows. You know what I mean? I think that would be a way that he could actually reach out. I genuinely don't. I've heard the same critique, and I did some when he's talking about this and his speeches and stuff. I don't see the malice. You know what I mean? I don't see what's the real the evil in his words. Yeah, I'm a PhD in microbiology. I'm a
Yeah.
scientist.
Yeah. I mean, no. I hope you're right. And I want to be optimistic. And I will say, I mean, the fact that the other option was Cuomo, and
Yeah,
not only has he sexually, allegations of sexual harassment, but then
yeah.
also the fact if Trump is endorsing you, that's not a good sign.
I know, dude.
Like,
What an ending. That was wild, dude. That was so crazy. I can't believe that he just yuck, dude. Just
so
gross.
in many ways, I feel like it's obviously a really good sign that somebody who was endorse, Donald Trump opposes. That's a
Hmm.
good sign. Like, you know. So
Yeah.
anyway, fingers crossed.
Yeah. I do think, like I said, I think that he got elected not because of his policies, because he's relatable, he's young, he's understandable, he's you know yeah.
Nice to get young people in politics.
I don't think that anyone is voting based off of policy anymore. I don't. I think that's dead. I really don't. I really do, guys. I don't know. I'm the nerd that's reading those policy papers, but I can tell you as the person that reads them, nobody references them or even talks about them, or even Kamala Harris won't even reference her own 300-page healthcare memorandum, that she supposedly wrote, and you're like, what is going on? So
That is one
it's
thing that
incredibly
really
frustrating.
that is one thing that really bugged me about the Biden administration. It's like right wing propaganda was so effective at painting them like this horrible administration, and it's like one thing that I was really frustrated with. Well, I mean, to be fair, she absolutely dog walked him in that debate. She mopped the floor with him.
Yeah.
But I was like, why have you guys not spent more time defending the record of your administration and being
Yeah.
like, we've done a historic amount of legislation. We've actually worked for the American people's interest.
Yeah.
So that was frustrating. But have you been seeing stuff recently that is implying that she might run again in
Yeah.
2028?
I honestly really liked Kamala Harris. I thought that she was
I did canvassing for her. Yeah.
yeah, I did too in Nevada.
I love you for that.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it was a triple district that I drove to. It was crazy. It was a purple Senate, House seat, and then obviously Nevada for POTUS. But it was gnarly. I liked her, man. I thought that she was really well read, understood like the issues really well. When you got her off like the stump speech and stuff, she was kind of really relatable, and but you know especially with 50 pass Prop 50 passing tonight, I don't think that anyone comes closer than Newsom to making the legitimate point that like and not only am I going to be a good president because I was the executive of California, the fourth largest economy in the world, but I also did more than anyone else to actually fight against Trumpism and the authoritarian power grab that he had by like doing things like the California bill, Prop 50. So I think that he has a legitimate, really well,
And he
really good claim.
he's one of the Democrats that's fighting fire with fire on social
Yeah.
media too, and what he says about Trump, which I appreciate. But what was interesting is, did you see that there was a video recently where
Mm-hmm.
Harris was like, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I do have some issues with Biden, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that was real or if it was AI, but I would have to check on that. But there was an interview clip where she's like trying to distance herself from, like, maybe she is trying to prime for a
No,
run. I don't
no, it
know.
was with the Daily Show. I saw that. I listened to that. It was, it. I don't know, man. I can understand like the really logical frustrations that she had with the Biden administration. I thought that he screwed up in a lot of different ways.
He should have
It,
dropped out so much earlier.
for sure, for absolutely.
Yeah.
And at the same time, though, I don't understand. Oh, is that what his diary? Okay, Diary of a CEO. Yeah, it was either that or the Daily Show that I was listening to. But that speech was kind of like at the end of a political career that you're kind of like torching the bridge. Like I don't understand the kind of like torch the bridge strategy when she's still so young and obviously going to run again. It kind of like makes people kind of not want to be your friend. If you're just going to sit there and just talk a bunch of shit once you get out, it's not very statesman-like. I don't know what the word is, but it doesn't really. You're not going to have a lot of friends that way. So
Yeah, no, I mean that is true, but I also see, that is one of the biggest critiques is like, why didn't she say, regardless of whether or not the administration was successful, if the overwhelming American kind of vibe was that like we need to move away from the administration, why wasn't she willing to distance herself publicly more from his policy? I mean,
yeah,
it's tough because I think the Democrats are still trying to figure out like what's the code that we have
yeah,
to crack to like win the American people back. That would be really nice if Mamdani, if his policies vastly improve New York City and then the rest of the country sees that and then is like, oh wait, maybe we do need. I mean, Democrats look at Virginia flipping tonight. I mean, obviously that's
yeah.
huge.
I mean,
Sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
no, no, you're right. No, you're right. I think the thing with Mamdani is be someone that's relatable and young. That's really it. I think that's the big ticket thing. Oh,
Young
thank
is
you,
huge. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, exactly. It does torpedo your political power in the United States, though. It really does. Like you're not going to have that
What,
20 or
burning bridges?
no, if you go to the president too early, and, like Obama,
Oh.
he's really young and still, he's really young and still nowhere to be seen. He's not having the power. Obama never had the power in Washington like Pelosi or Schumer have. So that's or McConnell. McConnell's a good example. He had
You
30
mean that
years.
Obama's kind of like disappeared from the scene a little
Yeah,
bit?
he's not the leader, the thought leader of the Democratic Party. He's not and this is what he's actually really good at. This is the frustrating part, that Obama is actually really good at community building and community organizing and like kind of the bully pulpit actions of the president of the United States. He wasn't a good executive. We actually needed him more as that kind of like bully pulpit, kind of like getting people energized. Exactly, call me Bob. Yeah, I would like Obama out more. He did come out and actually did do some speeches for the Virginia governors. He didn't. This is what I'm talking about, though. He didn't endorse Mamdani. That's what I'm talking about. Where it's like he isn't the guy. He is that generational change agent that we actually did do the thing. We did it, guys. We actually did get him elected at a super young age. We did the thing. That happened. Nothing big happened. And it sucks. It sucks. So it was a huge polarization moment for a lot of people. That like, as the kids say now, black pill moment for a lot of people in my generation. About it, but at least for me, maybe I'm just talking for myself. I don't know, but it was really wild. Like, holy shit! If Obama can't get anything through, then like we don't have really any chance here. But
Do you
what's
remember when
you know,
people You remember when people were calling Mitt Romney a fascist?
Yeah. 2012. Yeah. I mean, it's it is. I, 2012 was more about letting Obama be a two-term president than anything. I feel like, but Mitt Romney and any other time probably would have been the winner. He probably would have won in 2016 if he had ran. So it's just he's
I mean, I respect that he's one of the very few Republicans who still has some integrity,
yeah.
but you know,
Yeah, Emily, I think that Obama did have, the medication from the ACA. The only thing that is actually still surviving from the ACA is the 26 and under having health care because of it. That's really it. Literally everything else in the pre-existing conditions. That's it. That everything else has been gutted. I agree, among Lisa. The criticism under Obama was too much. But it is we have to. I I don't I don't want to like spend a lot of like stream or like talking and criticizing the Democrats because I don't think that they are the problem right now in politics. But I am like talking about like how to constructively criticize and how to be better with the actual change agents that we do have, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm trying
well, I
to.
do agree. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think that we need like people like Obama to do more earlier. We need people like Mamdani to be more of a player in politics going forward. So yeah, no, Democrats are
I
not the problem right now, for sure not.
well, I do think that they are not being. I mean, did you see I may have already mentioned this to you. Did you see Kamala Harris's interview with Stephen Colbert a few weeks ago, the extended one?
Yeah.
Yeah, when she said, "What I didn't see coming was the capitulation,"
I
and I
know.
know what is frustrating is that it's like, why aren't the Democrats fighting so much more ferociously against Trump, like every single step of the way? And I did see someone on Threads, and I completely agree with this. They were they were like, I swear to effing God, if the as soon as the government reopens, if the Democrats do not have reams of impeachment articles
Mhm.
ready to go, and I agree with that. So I hope they do.
I
But
It sucks, man. I'm of two minds of this, to be honest with you. I think that people when the capitulation is the ever encroaching and rising tide of fascism of how corporate power gets consumed within the government, and that's why you have like capitulations because people are getting deals and they're getting $1 trillion of market capitalization because of that. The also what was the second point? But yeah, I think that's the big thing. The idea that these companies are just wholly consumed now within the Trump administration. It is something that I I knew the back deals were going to happen, but I didn't realize how much front of the house awful the the corruption with the Trump coin, with the $500 billion plane, or is it million? I don't know. It's a ridiculous amount. But and then what's really gotten to me, what's really frustrated me is the $40 billion to Argentina out of nowhere. Like how and in what world are we giving $40 billion to Argentina? Like that is so much money. That is
and then
so much.
demolishing the entire East Wing.
I don't get it. Like that, guys. That $40 billion could literally pay for like you after school programs for the entire country. Like, do you want your kids to like have to be able to go to an after school program so that you could actually work a full 8 hours and not have to worry about childcare? Do you want to do that? That's $40 billion a year. That's that right there. It's awful. Oh yeah, the government shutdown. I figured out what I was going to say. The government shutdown. I'm kind of of two minds on this. Like, I I do think that I mean Trump is president. Elections have consequences. they did vote to gut $400 billion from from the from Medicaid, and I do think that like that is something that people need to feel the pain of, and that is the problem. The people need to get what they're voting for so that they can know that like the Democrats are objectively better. Also, on the other hand, material conditions are going to get way worse, and I feel like the Democrats need to stop whatever Trump is trying to do, in wholesale. But at the same time, it's like, I hate that the Democrats constantly use their political power in order to stymie the worst of the Republicans, and then when the Democrats are right into the spot of like, okay, now we have the power, they feel like we've run out of all of our gas and all our political will because we've just spent all our time, stymieing the Republicans as opposed to like actually fighting for what we believe.
I'm gonna say something that you're probably gonna hate me for,
Hmm.
because you literally have a science live. But I don't and I don't even know necessarily how much I believe in any of this stuff. But I will say, I'm trying to cling to literally every single
Uh,
potential shred of hope that I can right now.
yeah.
And one of those is that I did see a TikTok of a guy who was like, "Hey guys, I am clairvoyant and I am right about 85% of the time." And he goes, "This entire administration, I predict, will be coming to an end within the next 3 months." And I was like, from your lips to Gaga's ears,
Yeah. Right.
please, for the love of God, be correct. But I know that you're probably like, "Oh my God, why are you saying anything remotely supernatural on a science live, dude?"
No, that's fine. I
But
mean, yeah. I mean, he's an old guy, so he could be dying of natural causes anytime. You mean the Bidens who never owned a business but became rich over the last 40 years? Most people do become rich over the 40 years, bud. That's usually how your wealth accumulates, and then that's the power of compounding interests and ETFs. Yeah, so that's how that works, dude. So that 40 years is a long time to accumulate wealth. No, it's no kickbacks, dude. If you're worried about kickbacks, then you're definitely anti-Trump, right? So unless you are, then you have no idea what you're talking about. I,
one
I
thing
would love
science
that.
related that does concern me is that I saw that RFK is cutting funding to like HIV and AIDS care,
Hmm. Finally,
which is
finally, that's who's gotten it way too easy. Is those AIDS patients? Finally, that's what we voted for, right? That's what
you're like
that's what
something we've been
everyone.
sorely needing in this
Yeah,
country.
that's what everyone. I remember those signs actually at the RNC convention. They were all talking about like stick it to the AIDS patients, like give my money, take money from me, make my taxes go up, and then give it to Elon, and take it away from AIDS patients. That's what.
And children with cancer.
Yeah, finally,
I will say I went to the protest, the New Kings protest in New York, in Times Square. What?
nice.
Wait, are you in New York? I forget where you
No,
are.
San
Oh, you
Diego.
Nevada or San Diego. Sorry. Literally, the heart of Times Square, you could barely move.
That's
It was
cool, man.
pretty incredible. But I don't know. I have seen that every single time they've done a nationwide like No Kings or Hands Off protest, that
Yeah.
multiple millions of more people are joining each time. And I heard something about like it only takes 3.5% of a population to topple a government.
No, no, that's some nonsense from the Revolutionary War, the American Revolutionary War,
Is that
about like
nonsense?
how
Okay.
many like fighters there were, and that's that no that. It's, I mean, think about that, dude. Would a city would a revolution ever actually be successful if you're successful with a revolution with 3% of the people, and then 97% oppose you? You think that would be a successful government revolution? Like, I don't think so, man. You know what I
Sorry. I
mean?
hope you don't think I'm ignorant.
No, 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 no. No,
But
that's the problem. That's nobody asks or talks about that. That's a really common in like left leaning circles. That's a really common thing
talking
because
point.
it's talking about like there's not a lot of us, but we can have a big disproportionate impact. That's what they're kind of like trying to say. And it's okay. I mean, people talk about that and cite that all the time, but I don't think anyone's actually engaged on that point. before. But anyway, the point though is that it's good. It's good that people are getting involved. I don't try to dissuade that, and just like tonight, guys, like I think that you win. When you win, you should be very happy. Those are big wins. Those are big things that happen. Like you should tally those wins. That's what you fight for. Those are big things. I don't think that we should rest on the laurels and just sit back, though. You have to like be engaged into action. You have to, use that momentum forward to like get involved even more now. Get even, now we are a year out, guys, from the real elections. Okay, the 26 midterms. This was nice. This was the rev up. This is the practice game, the
Warm up.
scrimmage. You have to fight 10 times harder for next year than you have fought like this year. You need to think about what you've done, not just protesting, but like actually getting involved. Like like what did you do? Who is your local candidates? Who is your local house candidates? Who are you supporting? And if you don't know who they are, look it up. And then two, reach out to their campaign, figure out how you can volunteer, figure out how you can get your get involved. Get involved in your your local politics, your city council. Are your city hall, your city districts open? Like who's running? Like know these things. These are the ways that you are going to actually have a huge impact in your life. And now is the time to do it. A year out is when the local stuff action and everything is starting to kick off. Like take this energy and go forward and do something with it. Don't sit back with it. Keep fighting.
Yeah, it's easy to feel like, oh, I'm fighting against stuff when it's really you're just debating people on TikTok and not
Yeah.
actually doing anything that's going to have an impact in the real world. So I appreciate that reminder.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, that's why we do this. This is what this is. Action.drgregshow.com. This is what we're trying to fight the 423 anti-science Maha bills that are going through the state legislators right now. And that's what this is. This right here, this 277 actions, that is the amount of calls and emails that we have done in regards to that. Yes, 423 different bills that are at the state levels that are trying to take like science down. And we are
Insane.
doing what we can in order to do that. So please get involved. Action.drgregshow.com. We have we're targeting 4 different states right now. They all are important bills that we think we get like swing voters and people we need to look out for. And then we also have call templates and email templates for you. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get involved. And also maybe we can do like an election. That'd be a good idea. Election primer. What to look at, house reps, city council. Yeah, we'll figure out like what we can do there, how to get involved.
I do just want to say your vaccine count. I can't tell you how heartwarming it is every single time I come on one of your lives to see it increased by hundreds. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been really cool. That's another thing. Yeah, that's what this is, guys. Our vaccine. So every time someone gets a vaccine, we come in here and we celebrate you. That's what we do. So we are doing New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Michigan, and Minnesota. So New Hampshire has a free vaccine program for poor kids. They're trying to remove that. I know.
How
Massachusetts is trying. I
insane
know.
can you be?
Yeah, exactly. Massachusetts is trying to lax the laws on personal exemptions on vaccines. We don't like that. Michigan, they are trying to ban mRNA technology. So all different types of mRNA that would be for vaccines for COVID and in the future. mRNA vaccines, by the way, have recently shown that you're actually having some type of anti-cancer effect. So you're actually living longer when you have an mRNA vaccine with cancer because it primes your body, your immune response in order to fight the immune reaction a little bit more, and it does a good job of it. And then Minnesota is trying to ban mRNA technology as well. So we're fighting that one too. So we we're probably going to add one more, probably 5 states is where we're going to start going, and then we're going to start targeting businesses. I think targeting businesses to try to create a sign-on letter to try to make a big difference. But that's what we're doing, guys. That's what we're doing here. Trying to not be a streamer. We're trying to bring a an impact, building a community of people that are driven to do actions. That's what we want. That's what I want. That's what people want to do when they're here, and that's what I get motivated in order to help people. And they, like, people come in with so many. They're like, they're taking our actions, and they are going in and actually organizing their own call centers. So we have one person that goes with all our friends. She gets them and pesters them. That's her words, to call and email, and she'll do like 30 or 40 actions between her and her group of friends. All they all hang out and they all do things together. It's just so cool, man. It is so cool.
That's amazing. Well, I will drop down, but always wonderful to talk with you, my friend. And
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming up.
thanks for everything you do.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Have a good one. See
You
you,
too.
Theater Geek. It's yeah, Emily. It's not. So they just have like their friends. They just have like their friends group and stuff. They just talk to them and say, "Hey, do these emails, do these calls," and when they're hanging out, they just do them. That's what she said. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I know, right? I thought it was really awesome. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Thanks for being here. Welcome home. You're awesome, Duke Ray. Oh, just for the word action. Sorry, yeah, my head kind of puts on it. Hi, Gaynor. How's it going? Oh, DN, that's awesome. Yeah, go to town hall meetings. Yeah, exactly. Um, oh, thank you, Darcy. Yeah, we love public health here. My mom was a nurse. My wife's a nurse. And public health is how we use science to improve our lives. And I think that it's a really important thing. And there's a reason why they are attacking science and they are attacking the healthcare field at the same time. It's because people use science in order to independently inform their decision making in the medical field in order to better their lives, and they don't need someone like Trump or someone to give them advice or to give them the okay, and they hate that. So that's what I think is happening. I'm happy that you're here, Emily. Thank you. Yeah, Gaynor, that's not true at all. Thank you for being here, though. You're always here. I appreciate you for watching and staying, and you're awesome. Oh, Emily, that's nice. My wife's a NICU nurse, so yeah, that's awesome. Well, I pulled up the article I shared in the news channel about vaccines helping with allergies. Yeah, sure. No, it's not true, Gaynor. Yeah, it's not true. No, it's not. Oh, that's cool. The news channel. Oh yeah, ocean bacteria evolving to eat and produce plastics. Nice. Is that a PETase? Yeah, it is. The PETAs. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Ground news. Oh my gosh, I see this advertised all the time. Do you actually use it? Is it good? Oh no. Oh, Foodie, I'm so sorry. That is not a good idea. I'm so sorry about that. I would not recommend that as a oh, it's kind of wasting his time and his money. All right. All right. No, I mean, ivermectin isn't an option for cancer though. That is not a good idea though. That's not what you want to do. Yeah, anonymous, because vaccines they change the sequence, dude. The sequence changes, dude. What would you recommend for cancer then? I mean, there are gene therapy approaches, that can target specific types of cancer. I'd probably go to humantrials.gov and see if there's a human trial that you can get involved with, and don't give up. Oh, Juliana, I'm not here to teach you. You're hanging out with me. We're all you're teaching me too. So thank you. Oh, Emily, I'm sorry to hear about your mom. Get her into like a gene therapy trial, like right now if you can. Like try to get her into some type of gene therapy where they're sequencing her cancer, and then they're making some type of mutation based treatment based off of it. Um, yeah. Cancer used to be labeled as a parasite, correct? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of misnomers in medical science for a long time, but I don't think that's not true. Cancer is not a parasite. No, no, it doesn't. Anonymous, no. Yeah, foodie, definitely don't do ivermectin though. That's not a good idea. There are CAR T therapies. Yeah, there are CAR T therapies, but there's also gene therapies. So that's two different things. CAR T therapies changes your T cells to have your immune system battle those the cancers, but then you can also have gene therapies, which is based off of like a specific mutations that they have in the genes. Why is ivermectin not a good idea? Because it's an anti-parasitic, and that's not like you're not. It's too broad. You're not. I'm not a physician, so I am a molecular biologist by training. That's what I. Yeah, those. So I'm a molecular biologist, which is what the gene therapy treatments are. So that is, which is kind of ironic. But would you repeat the websites for trials? Yeah, it's humantrials.gov. Um, clinicaltrials.gov. Hi, Manny. Gene therapy doesn't work for hormonal cancer. Okay, yeah. Peter McCullough doesn't know what he's talking about. Got his medical license removed. Robert Malone, completely disgraced, doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know who Vermin Coleman is, but you don't know who the other two are, so that's a huge red flag for me. Nice, nice scientisms. Nice, dude. No, no, not. Oh, that's right, scientisms. I've talked to you before. You came up, man. I remember you. That's right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're right though. I mean, different types of cancers are going to respond to different types of like therapies. But I was just saying that, um, especially if it's early, I would go for like a more targeted approach, as opposed to just doing chemo or something like that. I mean, would you agree? No, I definitely no. Peter McCullough is not a top cardiologist, and Malone did not create mRNA, dude. Yeah, it's like it's okay. You don't know what you're talking about, but it's okay. It's all right. Did you see the Canadian researchers develop an mRNA vaccines to cure peanut allergy? I didn't, but that's cool. No, you're just repeating the same thing. No, he's not. No, he's not. He wasn't a top contributor. No, no. So he did work in 1989 to deliver. Um, no, no. I've actually read Malone's papers, so I actually know what he's done. And you don't understand. So let me educate you. Robert Malone delivered GFP, in 1989 with lipid nanoparticles. So, he did do something that expressed a protein of interest that was delivered by lipid nanoparticles, but that is not a vaccine. So if you think that GFP, the thing that makes, fish glow a certain color is a vaccine, then I don't know what to tell you. And you're also discounting about 25 years of molecular biology afterwards, specifically trying to understand and how to utilize better the 3' end of the construct and how to protect the mRNA construct in order to do it better. So that's what he actually did. So, but you can still spam his name if you want. Yeah, you're talking in all caps now, so that means that you definitely are correct. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mill RN. Yeah, 36 years ago he did something. Yeah, I mean Malone had a failed academic career. He was a complete failure in his professional life, and he basically took the pandemic as an opportunity to retool himself as a creator of whatever. And now, unfortunately, people believe him. So, unfortunately, people are listening or listened because he went on a Joe Rogan podcast or something. But I too was canceled a month ago now by TikTok and was banned for a week. So I too am canceled actually. So therefore, you should believe me. California. So nanobots do create. No, it's just lipid nanoparticles. So it's basically lipid nanoparticles. They're phospholipids that have nucleotides on the inside. It's not like a nanobot or anything like that. Pierre Corey's a fraud too. Got his medical license removed. Malone has vaccinated his kids. Exactly. Yeah, JC, you're right. What about McCullough's papers linking mRNA to myocarditis and pericarditis? Yeah, I mean, so again, so you have to realize that like SARS-CoV-2 is linked with myocarditis at crazy high rates. So it's actually 600% higher with SARS-CoV-2 than the vaccine. So again, if you're worried about myocarditis risks, you go with the vaccine every single time. So it's just not correct. Did you give anyone the vaccine? No, Dan Mac. I'm not a physician, but I would love to. I would love to give out vaccines for sure. I would love to. I have family members that do, so that's a really cool thing. I think vaccines are genuinely amazing. I would love to go on Fox News, Mill Aaron. I would love to. Okay, Emily, I will. I am exposing the truth, Anonymous. You're right. Thank you. I am. Me too, Missa. I am magnetic too. Now, all of a sudden. I'll never block you, L. I know, that'd be fun. Pierre Corey's a fraud. Yeah, he's a complete fraud. No, Macaulay got canceled. He's got his license removed because he was using his medical license fraudulently in order to push out disinformation that wasn't linked to any studies. So it's dangerous. So he definitely should have gotten his license removed, and I'm happy that he did. Oh, PokePass, what's up? Hello. We love scientists here. We have dozen of scientists. I have ah, where are they? I was gonna say I have my lab goggles. I'll just have to. Uh, I got some stuff. I can't prove my science cred anymore, guys. I don't have my lab goggles. Anyway, whatever. I am Magneto. I know. No, definitely not anonymous. That doesn't make any sense, bro. Nice, dude. We're about to start clinical trials on our new antibody for ovarian cancer. Oh, sick, dude. What kind of antibody is it? I used to, we made immunotoxins for um, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 1. Oh, cool. Nice, man. Oh, okay. Nice, Emily. There you go. See? Yeah, there's lots of cool new treatments for cancer. Make sure that your mom's doing the good stuff. Fight for her. Advocate for her. All right. We got a content that people want to talk about. Nanoparticle based vaccines to treat and prevent severe allergic reactions. Cool. All right. Here we go. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yes. We're back. We're back. Yes, finally. Finally. Yes. All right. I couldn't find my lab glasses, so I put this on instead, if you don't mind. All right. So, nanoparticle based vaccines to treat and prevent severe allergic reactions. A novel approach could apply to multiple types of allergy, including food allergies, and may become an alternative to routine allergy shots. A vaccine that uses lipid nanoparticles to deliver allergen specific mRNA showed early positive results at managing severe allergies in tests involving mice, according to a study led by experts at Penn State and Cincinnati Children's. Here's the paper. This publication reports exciting findings that we hope will lead to clinical trials and has potential as a revolutionary approach for allergy interventions and treatment. Says the director of the allergy and immunology at Cincinnati Children's. Rothberg and Drew Weissman, director of the Penn Institute for RNA Innovation at the University of Pennsylvania, were co-senior authors of the study. So this is the type of stuff that would be banned, guys. They're trying to ban this stuff in these states that we are trying to stop. We are trying to stop this from happening. These are the cool new things. Oh, look at this. I love these graphical abstracts that people do now. They're so cool. So you have like an allergic response. Oh, you can have a prevention. Oh, that's cool. So you can give the shot before the no, this is in what is it, biolab, what is it called? Dang, I used to use it for my figures. um Biorender. I say biorender. Before the treatment or before or during the, that's cool. I didn't think about that, but that makes sense. A reduction and decrease of mucus production, decrease in airway hypersensitivity, enhance allergen specific IgG. Ah, that's cool. That's way cool. Oh, that's awesome. Biorender. I think it's Biorender. I have to check. Yeah, it is. I used it. This is I used to pay my own subscription to Biorender for a little bit. It was crazy. Anyway, sorry. I mean, this is cool. I definitely think that it is a cool idea. The first stage, I mean, the paper before this is super preliminary, guys. I mean, this is like as preliminary as you can get. This, they haven't even gone to clinical trials yet, so which is, it's just a cool proof of concept that they've demonstrated. But yeah, the mRNA technology with lipid nanoparticle delivery, guys. I mean, it's a good way of introducing gene therapies to these this type of technology, for molecular biology, basically. Like, how am I going to deliver my nucleotides to the host? How am I going to get it there? And this just seems to be a really good way. An immunization with allergen encoded mRNA LNPs, lipid nanoparticles, modulated T cell differentiation, inhibiting the generation of T helper type 2 and type 17 cells upon allergen exposure in experimental asthma models, including ovalbumin and naturally occurring house dust mite and major HDM allergen DIR-P1. Cool. Notably, the mRNA LNP vaccination in combination with an mTOR inhibitor reduced the CD8 plus T cell response without affecting the vaccine induced anti allergic effect. Oh. In the preventative model of asthma. This technology renders allergen specific mRNA LNP therapy a promising approach for prevention and treatment of allergic diseases. That's a good journal too. The journal ranks 10.7. So that means that it's a really legit journal, which is good. It's already been cited 100 times. So that's on PubMed. That's really good. Usually, like when you're looking at a paper, so you're reading the abstract, read the title. The title is honestly the thing that you should reread until you understand it. Allergen specific mRNA lipid nanoparticle therapy. Okay, so that's allergen specific, right? It's just that allergen, and it's being delivered through mRNA lipid nanoparticle therapy. So it's being used to treat that for prevention and treatment. So before and after the stuff of experimental allergy in mice. Okay, so we got that, and then now, usually, whether or not you go straight to the discussion is kind of up to you. I sometimes like to go straight to the discussion, but I've been throwing in the figures first, so you can like go through the figures and just kind of see what are they actually doing here. So you can look, and they have like some histology done here, right? They have some tissues that they're looking at through microscopy. Yeah, let's look at E. What is that? Mice received either 1 or 2 doses of the OVA mRNA LNP or empty LNP administered 1 week apart, 2 microgram per injection, followed by sensitization and airway challenge protocol. Oh, here we go. HE and anti-major basic protein staining of the lungs. Shown are representative panels at the same magnification. So they're saying anti-major basic protein. So the thing that they're delivering, they have a stain for that anti-protein, and they're trying to look and see if they can actually see it. Which is why the lipid nanoparticle. Oh, the lipid nanoparticle, this goes down and then it goes down with it. Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So the naive and the 2 doses look similar, and that's what they want to show. Cool. And then here they're going down. This is the CD4 cells. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. Have you been to a medical AI conference? It's amazing. No, I have not. I have not gone to any medical conferences. I'm not a physician, so I don't. I've gone to like molecular biology conferences and algae conferences and that kind of stuff. So yeah, usually the first one is like the big figure. You're going to put like all your major stuff, your findings in there. And then you have like your other figures. But then the discussion. With the rising prevalence of allergic diseases affecting up to 80% of the population in certain regions of the world, there is a need to focus on better treatment and prevention strategies. So your discussion is going to have the good stuff. Cool. These strategies may be applied to address not only airway inflammation, but also other allergic disease involving adaptive immune responses such as food allergy, atopic dermatitis, allergic rhinitis, and more. Very cool. That's what I got. Vasomotor rhinitis, which is like basically I get dust. I got a dust allergy. Sweet. Dude, that was cool, guys. What'd we do? We did it. We read science. We read about science. Incredible. We talked about science on a science stream. We did it. We did it. Good job, everyone. Good job. Now we're going back. Now we go back. We did it. Yes, Ducray. Look at that. Whoa. Yeah, I gotta do my hair after that. Gotta make sure my hair is all. Whew, that hat gets my hair all weird. Yeah, you know what I mean. Oof. Whoa, Bare Necessity. You are incredible. 292. You are incredible, Bare Necessity, guys. Bare Necessity. Guys, give it up for Bare Necessity, for real. We're doing X in chat for actions. That's what we're doing. You're awesome. Bare Necessity, guys. Give it up for Bare Necessity. She is a leader here in our community. The leader in actions, and does so much to inspire me and push me, and she just is an incredible person herself and her friends, for real. Thank you. Give all the support to your friends too, Bare Necessity. Thank you. Thank them so much. And 3, 2, 1. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bare Necessity, and your friends. It's incredible. That is so cool. Siggy game, that's funny, yeah. How will I feel sneakily superior to them if they don't have any allergies? I do feel like that sometimes. I'm like, man, how many millions of years of evolution got me to the point where I have a little bit of dust will like make me just like inoperable. Okay, yeah, we'll take that out. We'll take that out right now. right, we'll take that out right now. All right, we're taking out that stuff. Cool. Took it out. Took it out bare necessity. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, nice. The easy copy and paste gets more awesome. All right, we fixed it bare necessity. All the organization stuff is gone now. Okay. Cool. Guys, we actually got a hit on someone. Someone actually replied to a email. Let's see. Cedar got it. This is huge, guys. Yeah, let's read it. So this is there to Kristen Boehner. And this is the reply, guys. While you are not a constituent of my district, I will offer a brief reply. This is HF3152. So let's just make sure we know what to do. This is the Minnesota one. So this is the tightly, that's deadlocked, guys. So there's the exact same amount on each side. So it is crucial that this is something that is on their radar, that they have to vote in party alignment. They cannot stray a single vote. Okay, so we're not trying to fruitlessly change a Republican state into not saying no, and they are going to say no. This is where our voice really matters here. Okay. I do serve as a member on the Minnesota House of Representatives Committee on Health Services, which is where a bill like this might be heard. The Minnesota House is not in session until next February, which would be the soonest this bill could be heard. While I cannot say for certain if the bill would be heard in the committee, I can share it would be highly controversial, and therefore it would have a very unlikely path to move forward in an evenly divided chamber. I also suspect this bill would not have a good chance of going anywhere in the Senate due to its controversial nature as well. I hope this was helpful to you. All the best to you and your family. Amazing. Guys, that's a huge win for us. That is a huge win. This is exactly what we want. We want them to know that there's pressure and that we are watching, that there is no way that you can have a single vote not be in lockstep in banning this thing and stopping this bill. And we are putting pressure on the people that need to be putting pressure on to say, hey, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. This is, guys, this is a huge win. This is a win. This is the state's representative realizing that there are people that are getting involved here. And this is a handwritten. This is not AI. This is an actual thoughtful response to this. A 2-paragraph essay, a 2-paragraph response. This is huge, guys. We are making a difference. I can't believe it. This is such a thing. Thank you for sharing, Cedar. Guys, we are making a difference. This is incredible. Very cool. Very, very, very cool response. Thank you. You see this, Kristen Boehner. Thank you for your response. We appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to send it to us. Yeah, thank you, Cedar, for sharing too. Thank you guys for all the emails, the phone calls. This is awesome. This is really cool. All right, guys. Sweet. Huge win, guys. This is what I think. I mean, just like how tonight with Mamdani, guys. Like we celebrate those wins. It's really important, I think, that you like celebrate those wins. That's a huge win. What does this win actually mean? It means that they are aware that there are people outside of their state that are emailing it to the point where they need to respond. And that's a big thing. They can't just write it off. It's not just they're not just wiping it under the rug. They are responding. So that's a big thing. And it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50 House of Representatives. So they have to be all in a line, and we can't have a single person think like, oh yeah, maybe it is a good idea. That it's crucial that everyone votes like they should. And that's cute. That's huge, guys. That's huge. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want. So it's good. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Soon. Soon. I think the sweatshirts and the t-shirts should be coming soon. And then we're gonna have like a modeling session, Get everything all situated. Nice. DL. Nice, man. It's big, guys. You have to take these wins in and you have to celebrate them. That's what there's a really, really important book. Oh my god. I can't believe it's yeah, by Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals. You should. Omar, what's up, brother? Nice to see you, man. Saul Alinsky, guys. Check it out if you haven't already. Listen to the audiobook. It's very good. It's a really good required audiobook if you haven't already. And he talks about how when they were organizing in order to fight for civil rights, he would purposefully take steps slower than they need to go in order to make more wins along the way. It's gigantic. Like in politics, when you have that momentum and you have those wins, it creates people that are more motivated to keep going and to do more things. So this is honestly one of the big things that I think the left in the United States is kind of missing. This type of like winning mentality. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. Nice. Good, DL. Good. Yeah, these types of wins are huge for Mamdani, for us when we get these emails back. That's huge. I also think, oh yeah, he did really bad. What was that? What was that? JD Vance brother mayor race? I mean, the problem is that he never had he didn't have the Palantir Peter Thiel backing, I guess. You have a lot of faith in the systems. No, not necessarily, user. I think that we need like a political revolution for sure. Definitely we need to change things, but how we change things is by creating a political movement where you get millions of people involved. And you're not going to get millions of people involved unless they think that millions of people doing something is going to make a difference. That's just what it is, man. So, got to inspire people. Yeah, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court was a big one too. All these courts are going to be a huge coming up, guys, in 2028. There's definitely going to be a big thing. Oh my God. Is this true? Is this the whole thing? He got 21. His brother got 21% of the vote. That is, I've never seen it. 78% for a mayor named in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm not trying to do this. Off top Puraval. I genuinely am not trying to mess that up. Um, ha, JD Vance's half brother got 21% of the vote. 14,000. I that is usually you can get 30% of Americans to believe just about anything, but I guess they can't believe that that he should be president. I mean, or mayor, that's for sure. How do you pronounce that? How do you pronunciation? Here's Joe Biden stumbling over Cincinnati's mayor's name. I mean, I mean, I mean, I did too. I mean, right? I mean, come on, give it to those guys. Give it to him, man. Give it to him.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see the Mayor Covington, and Mayor of Covington, I should say. He is Covington, I think. Joe Mayor, and the Mayor of Cincinnati. And I make sure I got to do this right. Aftab Ferval, did I correct
it? Oh, we love Joe. Exactly, Woods. Exactly. Corey Bowman. Corey Bowman is his name. I hope so. I hope people are waking up, user. I agree with you, man. I think, but this isn't, the election, like I said, election results are good. We have to take them and rejoice in them and be happy with them. But also, if you think about what you could do more next year, think about between now and 2026, what could you do more? If it, like, city council, House of Representatives, Senate, understand where the races are. Understand there's a lot more down ballot stuff that's going to come out too in your city. Props, bonds to be voted on. Important stuff. And do your research and try to go through them. Don't just wait for some analysis. Try to understand and try to read through them yourself. Yeah, Woods, exactly. I mean, it's wild, man. I know, right? Or Wiz, I think so, man. I think it was crazy. The numbers, it's going to be interesting to see where the fault is already falling. I know that I hate both parties people are both broke for the Democrats. A lot of these. So I feel like we have to figure out who is actually making a difference. Sorry, Brian. I don't understand what you're saying. Oh, Night Flyer. That's, you know what, that is where you have the biggest impact is in a state like Texas. It's the opposite. You have a ton of potential, and you keep showing up and you have your voice heard in places like Texas, and you vote Democrat every time, because eventually, and you don't know when, that election that they can't stymie the Democratic vote enough, and you guys have a landslide election, and it's going to be over. So much crime where, Casey? Okay, so speaking of really long things, that bills and original research that we were trying to get through, we are going to go through. There was a decide to win thing. So basically, it was a report by a consulting group in regards to what the Democrats can do in order to win in 2028. And we are reading through it and discussing it so that we can have a better, more informed decision on what we're looking for and what to do going forward. Oh, I'm sorry, Casey. I'm sorry to hear about that. Nice, Brian F. Nice. I'm glad you're campaigning. That's amazing. All right. Let's throw it on the screen. Okay, deciding to win. Are we deciding to win, guys? Are we going to decide to win? Is that what the idea is? I think we should. I think we should decide to win. All right. Oops. No. Did the wrong thing. We're doing this. Oh no. Without this though. Whew. Okay. Back to this. Boom. Boom. All right, here we go. Deciding to win. Okay. Here we go. So we read the first executive summary, basically focusing on policy agendas, advocating for popular economic policies, convince voters to share their priorities by focusing more on issues voters do not think are party priorities high enough, and then embrace substantive and rhetorical critiques on the outsized political and economic influence of lobbyists, corporations, ultra-wealthy, while keeping two considerations in mind. First, voters' frustrations with the status quo are not the same as the desire for socialism. And second, criticizing the status quo is a complement to advocating for popular policies on the issues that matter most to the American people, not a substitute. Okay, how we got here. Oh man, it's 15 pages. It's going to be interesting though. Okay, here we go. How we got here. To understand how we can win again, we must understand how our party arrived at this point. The Democratic Party has moved left since 2012. Since Barack Obama's successful re-election campaign, the Democratic Party has moved left on essentially every issue. The simplest way to demonstrate the shift is to look at the change in the share of Democratic members of Congress who co-sponsored pieces of progressive legislation. I don't know if I would agree with this though. Reparations study bill. Okay, I can understand that. Assault weapons ban? Like, I don't think that this is necessarily a progressive, a left-wing radical position though, because that was like a 90s position that people already had. I mean, resolution calling for a Green New Deal. I mean, that was such a guys. That was the biggest sham. If you've never read the Green New Deal, we should, we should, we should just read it right now. It is not a real piece of legislation, guys. It's. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just not. It's not a real bill. It's not. It's actually really frustrating that this got so much attention. Like this was the brand new thing. Look how short it is. Okay. This is the resolution. And then it's just like stating things. So again, AOC reported this, and it's basically, this is the first part. So the first half of it, what is the Green New Deal, guys? If you've never, I keep saying this, but I'm telling you, reading gives you superpowers like you wouldn't believe. Read yourself. If you see something and just read it yourself, guys. I'm telling you, the first half of the Green New Deal is basically just saying that climate change is real. They're basically talking about how climate change exists and that science shows that it's real. Okay? So here we go. Global warming above 2 degrees Celsius, mass migration from regions the most affected by climate change, a loss more than 99% of all coral reefs on Earth, a risk of damage, a lot of money to public infrastructure, global reductions in greenhouse gas emissions are going to be needed by 2050. Whereas because the United States has historically been a disproportionate amount of greenhouse gas emissions, this is what we need to do. We need currently experiencing several related crises, life expectancy, wage stagnation, inadequate resources for public sector workers, a top 1% earners accruing tons of gains, a gender equity gap, and then whereas climate change, pollution, environmental destruction are exacerbated by systemic racial, regional, and so-called and social, economic, and economic injustices, we are trying to make sure that basically that we are giving out stuff for this. Hi, Evelyn. How's it going? Whereas climate change constitutes a direct threat to the national security of the United States. Here he goes. And then we had different mobilization efforts in the United States with World War II, with the New Deal. And then therefore, this is what we want to do. The House Representative recognizes that the new way of going forward through this next deal is going to have this. And basically, so this, what up to this point, this is 4 pages of just like saying stuff that is true. They're not even talking about legislation, right? They're not even saying what to do, right? The Green New Deal, the first half of it just says that thing exists, okay? Now, this is what we should do because of that. It's the duty of the Green New Deal to achieve the net zero emissions, to treat millions of good high-waging jobs, to invest in infrastructure. I mean, come on, guys, this is real radical stuff. To secure all people in the United States for generations to come, clean air, community, healthy food, access to nature, sustainable environment, and then to promote justice, equity, and equity and justice when we're providing those stuff to the people, building resiliency against climate change disasters, budgeting and upgrading energy deficient power grids, upgrading all existing buildings, spurring massive growth in clean infrastructure, working collaboratively with farmers, supporting family farming, building more sustainable food systems, zero emissions, migrating and managing long-term adverse health, removing greenhouse gases from the atmosphere, restoring protective threat and endangered fragile ecosystems, cleaning the existing hazardous waste, identifying other emissions to achieve new deals of growth, and then they will correlate the following. So in order to do that, we need to do this. We need to do these things. So provide leveraging a way that the public goes through. Federal, state, local governments to ensure that the federal government takes into account the complete environmental, social costs and emissions, making public investments, directing investments, spurring the use of democratic and participatory processes that are inclusive, ensuring that the Green New Deal mobilization creates high quality union jobs, guaranteeing a job for a mass sustaining wage and adequate family and medical leave, paid vacations. I mean, is this really that crazy? Is that all this stuff was, a lot of this stuff was done already, guys. Oh, CFDL, thanks, thank you, appreciate that, man. I agree with you, Kathleen. But I think that, like, guess what, guys? Biden did all this stuff. You guys realize that, right? Like, Biden actually did this stuff, but he didn't pass the Green New Deal. He just passed $700 or $800 billion of infrastructure, Inflation Reduction Act and infrastructure bills and the CHIPS Act. And then by de facto, he already did all this stuff. Right? So that's true, Kathleen. That's very true. We did, that money was spent and then it was taken away. Absolutely. But my point is that, like, this is a red herring. If anyone talks to you and says that this, well, we'd have to pass the legislation or we would have to have a president sequester those funds through some type of, like, national security thing that POTUS. I know, Louise, I totally agree. My point is, guys, if you see someone saying that the Green New Deal is somehow this radical, insane proposal, they haven't read it. They have no idea what they're talking about. Okay? It's just not true. Like, none of this, the first half of what we were reading was just the science, and the science is true. And then the second half is like, we need to make new jobs, and then we need to make sure that when we build out these systems, we, like, give it out to people that have, like, you know, looking for the poor and working class. Like, like, how is this some crazy leftist, like, a thing? I mean, it really isn't that big. And they didn't even say the second half, guys. They didn't even say how they're going to do it. Right? Nowhere in there was there actual legislation that's like, we're going to take $100 billion and we're going to do this. We're going to take another $100 billion and do this. It was just like, hey, guys, in the future, when we're thinking and building stuff, maybe we could start thinking about other things. They're like, maybe, guys, we can just, like, you know, start thinking about other people. You know, it's not, this is how much money this goes. This is how much we're going to do. You know, it's just nonsense. Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Yeah. Environmental economist. I'm sorry, man. That is depressing. That is awful. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not paid by Soros. I wouldn't mind, though. Wouldn't mind. I'm getting. I'm not mad about the Green New Deal. I'm mad that, like Biden did do the things in the Green New Deal, but he doesn't get credit for it. But then here, they're saying that this is an example of how the party has moved left so considerably when they said this part right here, the resolution calling for a Green New Deal, as if that is, like, this huge thing that's like a 40-point increase when it's like, when in reality, like, is it wasn't before the Green New Deal that the Democratic Party like supported sustainable and renewable jobs, high tech jobs. What? Infrastructure bills? That it wasn't until until AOC in 2019 that we talked about any of that stuff. Nah, that's not true. That's not no, that's true. It's just a red herring on something that someone hasn't read. And what I'm telling you guys, when you read something and you read primary literature for yourself, I'm telling you, it is a superpower because you can tell instantly when someone else hasn't read. And I can tell with 100% certainty, 100% certainty that this resolution calling for a Green New Deal, whoever made this thing did not read the Green New Deal. I 100% agree that person did not read. No, definitely Marco, that the Earth is being negatively impacted by humans. Absolutely. It is. That is, you need to stop calling it global warming, climate change, whatever that is. The humans are negatively impacting the environment. That is what it's happening. That is the language that we should be using. We should stop calling it whatever du jour it is today. We are negatively impacting the environment. That's it. That's all. Full stop. That's what's happening. Okay. Other things. Sorry, I just had to take a detour because of one box on here, guys. It's gonna go well. 59 pages to go. 59 pages to go, guys. We're good. Child Care for Every Community Act, free and subsidized child care, 40%. Was that never a thing in the United States ever? Yeah, Teresa. Yeah, I think so too. Democracy Restoration Act, voting rights for former prisoners. Okay. Okay, so we use 2012 as a starting point for our analysis because it marks the most recent re-election of a Democratic president. That's kind of a weird. I would say 2008 would probably be a better thing because you would want like a 2008 is the actually that's kind of hard because George W was a two-term president. I don't know what a good thing was. I'd probably say 2008 because 2012 says at the bottom here because 2012 is a potent example of how a disciplined and strategic approach can lead Democrats to victory in a difficult political environment. I don't think so, dude. Every analysis says that Obama, any Democrat would have won. You know, straight up. It wasn't that Obama was like this great candidate. It was just that the George W. Bush ran the economy into the ground. People were really worried and they were going through an insane recession. And people were just like, wow, we need to change it up. These guys have no idea what they're doing. And even the Republican Party ran away from George W. Bush in 2008. Like nobody campaigned with him. McCain didn't want to have anything to do with him. They were disgraced. So, yeah, Marco, that doesn't make any sense, dude. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Family Act, National 12-week paid and medical leave program. Okay. I mean, that's weird. The Women's Health Protection Act expanded abortion rights. I mean, dude. I mean that's definitely gone up because of the rescission of Roe versus Wade. Like that's definitely one. No, are you just doing like the Republican like memes? Like you're just like spamming them? Is that what you're trying to do? College for All Act, free or subsidized public tuition. Yeah. I mean, Medicare for all, that's probably artificially low too because they had just passed the ACA. So shares of congressional Democrats, they are not going to be supporting Medicare for all at that time, because why would they want it? Yeah, Night Flyer, exactly. I feel like these are kind of cherry picked. I feel like some of these are cherry picked. I don't think the Democratic Party has moved substantially left. I don't. I don't think so. I think it's a false narrative that is pushed by the Republicans and the right wing. And I genuinely do not think that the Democratic Party is like shifted severely to the left at all. Didn't he make a shit ton of money by getting oil in the stock? Um, there was the idea of the Halliburton and Dick Cheney having undue influence in making the war so privatized and in the hands of Blackwater. So isn't it? I was trying to say BlackRock, but that's the financial institution, and that's the idea. But I mean that type of corruption is so quaint now. That is so cute. See here, which part? I'm sorry. Just like wildfires, wind doesn't start fires, people and their actions do. Sure. St. Paul, nice. Oh, nice. Huge cedar. Nice. Thanks for the update. There has been a divide in the Democratic Party, though. Mods versus progressives. Yeah. Again, I don't. Hi, Rapture. Oh, the chart. So on the left here on the bill, it's basically it's making the argument that the Democratic Party has moved to the left. So on the far left is the bill here. It's giving bill examples, and then the share of congressional Democrats supporting it from 2013 to 2014, and then the share of congressional Democrats supporting it in 2023 to 2024. It's a 10-year gap, and they're saying that there's been a huge shift to the right, meaning that there's been a lot more support for progressive legislation, and they're saying that these bills are examples of far left legislation, and I would say that they're not far left legislation. It's that the Democratic Party is realizing that they need to get things done in order to actually make changes to people's lives, and they actually need to change the material conditions that people are having, and so that they are actually supporting policies finally that will make drastic action. There always have been, additions to what is politically feasible, but they just didn't think that they needed to do them until now they need to, especially after Trump. So that's what's happening. I don't think that they're super far left policies. If the conditions are drier, then the wildfires are more likely to be changing the human. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Kathleen. These aren't far left. These are just democratic policies that Democrats are supporting. You know what I mean? Like that's I don't think that these are like left like okay, so Equality Act. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what the Equality Act is. Probably the women's rights constitutional amendment. That's what I would think. Reparations. Why would you wouldn't have a reparations study bill? You would just give people reparations if it was a leftist. An assault weapons ban. There wouldn't be an assault weapons ban. There would be an amendment to the Constitution or change in the Second Amendment language. Resolution calling for a Green New Deal. There wouldn't be a resolution calling for a Green New Deal. There would be publicly owned renewable and sustainable technology developments that have happened where the public owns the energy production from these windmills and these solar arrays, right? That would be the publicly owned utility companies, right? That would be a leftist, really progressive thing. Child care for every community, free and subsidized child care. Yeah, that would be absolutely thing. Democracy Restoration Act, the voting rights for prison members. Yeah, they would get that. Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like those would be actual like left, the far left. Exactly, Cedar. These are considered conservative. Yes. Like solar, the public buying more solar. Well, Sierra, you can have, where does the question is where does your energy come from? Right? Where does your energy and the electricity come from? Since everyone has to buy it, a lot of cities have and counties have publicly owned utility companies. So the company that you own, that the utility company that you get your stuff from is publicly owned, as opposed to a private corporation that could, you know, go under or has like the profit, to squeeze people out, because what happens is that they're effective monopolies, right? You don't have the ground space to run lines of 50 different solar companies or energy providers, because they're literally running stuff underneath the streets. So what happens is that you have publicly owned companies doing this. So why wouldn't you, in a Green New Deal or something, you would have, oh, Efon, thank you for the subscriber, man. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. So you would have that on the scale of like renewable and sustainable energy production with solar panels and stuff like that. You would have, publicly owned stuff like that. You know what I mean? That would be the idea. But we don't see that. My point is that the Democratic Party hasn't. Yeah, for sure, Sierra. If you have new technologies, you want to give them and make them open to the most amount of people as possible. Do you know what I mean? That would be the idea. Okay, let's keep going. The Republican Party changed between 2012 and 2024. See, like this is what dude, it's the Democratic Party that has stayed, and the Republican Party is the one that has moved insanely far right. So the idea that it's the Democrats that have moved far left and the Republicans that the Republican Party has just changed. I hate the meaning of this. Between 2012 and 2024, Republicans have become more extreme on issues like democracy, the rule of law, immigration, and transgender rights. Yes. But the Republicans have moved toward the center on several issues, including moderating their stances on Medicare and Social Security. Really? And dropping their pledges to repeal the Affordable Care Act. They did that. They have fought that in the courts every tooth and nail. There's nothing left in the Affordable Care Act. And on top of that, they just took out one of the last things, which is the Medicaid expansion. That is one of the last vestiges of the Affordable Care Act, was the Medicaid expansion. And, and there's just, they don't, oh my gosh. And dropping pledges to repeal the Affordable Care Act, ban abortion nationwide. Between 2012 and 2024, they got Roe versus Wade rescinded. What? That's one of their moderating their stance and dropped their pledge to ban abortion. They did ban abortion nationwide. That is the whole point. And pass a constitutional amendment to prohibit same-sex marriage. They're going to do that in the courts. This is wild. The framing of this. I am so frustrated with this. I am so frustrated with this. This is so wild to me. The voters' perception of the two parties has changed since 2012. See, this is why This is why the bad PR, like talking about this. I'm talking about the welcome report. This is the deciding to win towards a common sense renewal of the Democratic Party. We read the executive summary, and now we're reading every chapter individually. Yeah, this is why messaging is so bad. This is like the fact that like dropping the pledge to repeal to ban abortion nationwide. They literally have, dude. They literally have. I think it's like by Welcome Project from Welcome. I don't know. Well, it's like a Democratic pollster group, I think. Democratic think tank group. I hate how they've been seen. This is so frustrating. Okay. Voters' perception of the two parties has changed since 2012. Voters have noticed the Democratic Party's shift to the left. Oh my God. Per available public polling, the share of voters who see the Democratic Party as too liberal has increased significantly by 2012. Again, but that's because the Republican Party has been saying that. They have said that the Republican, as they have moved farther to the right, it is the Republicans' messaging that the Democratic Party is actually the ones that are moving so left, and people have bought into that whole narrative. That's what's so frustrating. It's just like how we talk about the lockdowns, guys. That like the lockdowns, people have this perception because of how they've been lied to that science got it all wrong or something during the pandemic or something like that. When it's not that way, it's just the anti-vaxxers that have been pushing this narrative. And then now look at this. Look what happens. The Republican Party pushes this perception. Each dot represents an individual public poll during this time period that asks voters whether the Democratic Party was too liberal, about right, or too conservative. This is the share of voters saying the Democratic Party is too liberal, from 45 to 55%. I mean, it's only an increase of 20%. You know, it does look more than what it looks like. You know, I don't think that the y-axis, guys, here is like off base, right? Because it doesn't start at 0, so it looks like a lot more than it is. Yeah, definitely not right, OJ. Definitely not right. By contrast, during the 2012 to 2024 period, the period of voters who saw the Republicans as too conservative decreased. Yes. Yes, the perception. I think the idea here is the perception. Again, dude, it's each dot represents an individual's public poll during this time. So it's the public poll, guys. Since the Trump's inauguration, the share of voters who think the Republican Party is too conservative has increased substantially. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's a good point. Since 2016, what? So that's really weird. So it goes up from 2016 to 2018 pretty substantially, and then back down to 2020. What? While this represents a major political opportunity for Democrats, our party has yet to capitalize on it. Okay, so here's 2025. Okay, so they're talking about this from 2024, 45%. Now it's over 50% that has gone too conservative since Trump has inaugurated. Share of voters saying that the Democratic Party is too liberal. This is 55%, and then this is at 50%. Okay. Democrats have changed what we focus on. So in comparison with the Democratic Party of 2012, today's Democratic Party is more focused on issues like climate change. Today's Democratic Party is focused on climate change. No, it's not. No, it's not. Dude, we haven't talked about climate change in like fucking 5 years. Are you out of your mind? Democracy, abortion, and identity and cultural issues are less focused on the economy and the middle class. No, that is the idea. Oh my gosh, dude, this is so frustrating. That is what the Republicans paint the Democrats as following, but they don't. Like, this is a great example about this. Cultural issues was like the trans rights. So the idea that like Kamala Harris was constantly talking about trans issues, she never mentioned it in the stump speeches at all. But that is one of the top two things that Republicans say that they talked about all the time. Why? It's because of AI and algorithms and fake social media feeds that push this. The table shows this shift through an analysis of the perceived of select words in the 2024 Democratic Party platform in comparison to the 2012 Democratic Party platform. Oh my God, here it is again. There's the 300-page policy book as if it means fuck all. Unbelievable, dude. Here's the Democratic Party's priorities have changed. Up 800% for white, black, Latino, Latina. Climate is up 150%. Guns is up 725%. Queer communities up 1,000%. Justice is up 76%. Hate is up 1,200%. Childcare is not even in the 2012 platform. I mean, that's awful, dude. Democracy, reproduction, equity is up 766%. Trans issues aren't in the 2012 platform. What's down? Those are all up, and what's down is deport, man, crime, deficit, father, small business, growth, responsibility, tax cuts, middle class, jobs. I mean, some of this stuff you could definitely want to bring up, right? You want to bring up jobs, nation, middle class, economic work for sure. You want to bring up tax cuts, but you want to bring it up in the guise of like a poor and working class tax cut. Responsibility, those are good words. Growth, you want to bring that up too. Small businesses, Democrats are small business favored. They love small businesses compared to Republicans. Fathers, those are okay. Deficit, you want to bring up. Yeah, these are all words you want to bring up. And then voters increasingly see the Democratic Party as out of touch. This is Democratic Party out of touch 2013, 51%. Democratic Party out of touch 70%. Yeah, I mean, that was a 40% increase. That's a lot. That's a lot. I know, exactly. Too much on democracy when it's like up 147%. The biggest one is hate. Hate is the biggest difference. Hate, LGBTQ, and then white, black, Latino, Latina. Voters increasingly see the Democratic Party as out of touch. But look at this. Look at the Republican Party in 2013. 70% think that they're out of touch. Still, in 2025, 65% think that they're out of touch. Like, they've remained out of touch this entire time and then still got elected in 2016. So this kind of like doesn't make any sense. What's driving the shift in Democratic priorities? Yeah, we'll have to see. Voters want the Democratic Party to prioritize economic concerns. Protecting Social Security and Medicare. No, dude, that's not what you lead with. That is not a good idea. Lowering everyday costs, yes. Making healthcare more affordable, yes. Creating jobs and economic growth, yes. But you don't lead with Social Security and Medicare. That's like BS, dude. That is not a good winning message talking about how we need to take more money from younger people to push to elderly people that have accrued so much wealth in the last 20 years. Like, that is not a good that is not a good message. You know, it's like, it is like Social Security is very odd. It is honestly very weird how it is not a lot. It's not a lot of money. You definitely can't live off of it. And if I did, and if I did have that money, if I did have that money and I invested it myself, I would get way better gains off of it, you know? So it is very weird. It is a really weird system, especially considering that, like, how tenuous it feels like it is. It's, why are we forced to choose these two parties when there's no, I would, yeah, Rapture, exactly. So for you, like, for like, there should be, like, there should be a social safety net, absolutely, right? And like, they should have, you know, we should have it. But the idea that, like, for example, like the idea that like a pension is something that is a good thing for a private company to have, right? I don't think that that's, I think that that's wild. Like we shouldn't, like, corporations shouldn't have to give a pension in order to, like, in cities and stuff. Like, it is wild to me. Like, you look at the budget, my old city that I used to go to, like 40% of the budget was paying the pension of people that used to work there. Okay? Like, it was like, what? We were like running out of money. We couldn't do anything. Like, we couldn't pay the bills. And then I was looking at the budget for the city, and the biggest thing, the biggest line item, the thing that they had to pay first is 40% for a pension. And you're like, what? Like, we don't have money for, like, kids programs. We need, like, the libraries. We have, like, tons of stuff that needs to be done. We have homeless people that need to be taken care of, and, like, pensions are, like, are the thing. Like, my point is that people should be taken care of, right, without having, like, a system like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, the idea, like, obviously we wouldn't, like, get rid of the protections and the people that need Social Security. That's not the point. I'm saying, like, the restructuring how it's funded in the guise of, like, you know, all the money that's over, I think it's like $200,000 a year or something, like, doesn't go into Social Security. The idea meaning that if you're making over $200,000 a year, you don't need Social Security. So why would you pay into Social Security, which is a crime? So what I would do basically is, like, you don't have poor and working class people like putting into Social Security. You have rich people paying for Social Security, for the social safety net for other people. Don't like take 30% of someone's taxes. You know, don't tax someone, you know, that is just, like, middle class, that you're impacting families with a 30% tax, when a billionaire could pay all of that tax and pay all that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would be a huge pay cut for families. It would be the same coverage. It would actually be more coverage, right? Because you would actually get way more money. There's way more rich people that are making more than $200,000 a year, and all that money that they're not paying taxes on. You'd have all that money, you know, versus, like, me, who's paying 30% tax on my money that I make, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm paying, like, it gets to a point where I'm paying more taxes than Elon Musk is. Like, what the hell is that? So I do feel like that Social Security and Medicare do need to be, like, retooled. Like, Medicare should just be Medicare for all. It should just be our system. We should just make it open for everyone to come on. So yeah, you just make everyone capable of signing up. Kamala Harris is no, she didn't want to tax unrealized gains. That was something that was just like talked about really like a flash pan. That she wasn't actually proposing that, but that's different. I'm on Social Security and work and still pay $60 a month back. That's crazy. Exactly. Exactly, guys. I don't think that poor and working class people should have to pay for Social Security. That's my big point. Like, I think it's ridiculous. Like, it's insane. Oh, Becca, wow. I think Medicare for all scares people because they think they're going to be put on welfare. The idea is like, you should just be at the point of service, healthcare should be free. That's it. When you go to the doctor, you shouldn't have to worry about who's going to pay for it. It's going to be free. That's it. And then the person that your doctor bills is the government, not you, and then that's it. Medicare isn't Medicaid. Exactly. Yeah, Medicare is 65 and over. Medicaid is for like poor people. But yeah, I hate this. I hate that like voters want to prioritize like these things aren't popular because Democrats don't promote them and they don't champion them. Protecting the rights of undocumented immigrants. Like nobody protects the rights and advocates for them. So therefore it's an unpopular thing. Like who would have known? Yeah, I do think that there should be some type of like reorganization of like Social Security to make it more efficient, better benefits for people that need it. It should be completely like overhauled. It should be. Exactly, Arliss. Exactly. Everyone deserves that. Like we should be able to talk about how to better something without the fear of like, oh my gosh, don't take away the only way that I'm like living, which is insane. I think that's so awful. Raising taxes to increase spending on social programs. Like, how does that? How is that so wild to me? Nice, Teresa. Dang. Protecting the rights of LGBTQ Americans. Like, I don't think that we should have to raise the taxes in order to pay for a lot of these social spending programs. That's the thing is that, like, we are spending so much money on random shit. Fighting for climate change. Exactly. Like, why would you talk about that? You would say, make not it's not fighting climate change if you're just making sustainable and renewable energy jobs. Like it doesn't make any sense. Lowering the rate of crime, cutting taxes. Yeah, burnt toast for sure. She should, and the flu vaccine. Can I ask Biden to pay undocumented area $5 to live here and vote blue? Yeah, it definitely didn't happen. Yeah. Voters see Democrats as insufficiently prioritizing economic concerns, border security. God, border security, dude. It is like it's so frustrating. It's literally only a thing that comes up every 4 years. People do not care about this issue, but they get fear mongered into it every single time. Every single time. And then suddenly it never shows up again. It never shows up for 4 years. And then boom, all of a sudden people are like, I really care about the border again. And you're like, bro, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't care about securing the border. That's unbelievable. How much voters think Democrats prioritize each issue minus how much voters think Democrats should prioritize the issue. Voters see Democrats as insufficiently prioritizing economic concerns, border security. Okay, so the bottom is the better point then, because you're minus how much voters should prioritize. So the bigger negative is how much they should. So they should be securing the border, lowering everyday costs, lowering rate of crime, creating jobs. Creating jobs and economic growth is by making sustainable and energy production. You know that is what it is. So like, but fighting climate change. It's just how people. It's just these things are so linked. Voters see Democrats as insufficiently prioritizing economic concerns. Share of voters who say the issue is one of their top 3 priorities. Economy, inflation. It's so weird. Like the inflation argument is so weird. So it's like, how, like during the Biden administration, okay? Like our unemployment rate was really low. Like the Fed has 2 metrics that it works at, right? It has unemployment rate and inflation. Those are the 2 metrics, and then it uses the interest rate in order to balance between those 2 metrics. So inflation was up, but unemployment was down, right? You're paying 10% more for things, but you got a job. Do people really think inflation as their number 1 care? Do people really think that they would have been more happy without a job and 5% unemployment? Or would they be okay with having a job and 10% unemployment? Like that, those are literally the questions. Those are the actual questions. Well, I mean, there doesn't make any sense though. If you had to choose between not having a job and paying 5% more inflation, you would have a job and pay 5% more inflation every single time. So it's not even a question. It's not even a question. So I think that the Fed did a great job. I think that they kept unemployment low, and that the United States had historically low inflation during that time. Again, this is just another issue where people don't understand. They like wages actually went up during the Biden administration for the first time. For in a really long time, they actually went up and versus inflation. But again, like even the credits, it's just how do you? And this is something that Kamala Harris did talk about in the Jon Stewart interview. How do you combat the misinformation that people give? They're living in an alternative reality that is constructed by these social media algorithms. They are not living in the one that has the data. This is true. Yeah, Teresa, even during the pandemic, the wages went up. They went up higher than inflation. Like for the first time in a really long time, actually. So again, if their top issue is the economy and inflation, then Democrats should be their number 1 person, right? It's not. Inflation and healthcare too, and it's not. Share of voters who say issue is the top of the 3 for the Democratic Party. Again, so this is just not true. LGBT policy is not the top priority of the Democratic Party. It's just not true. Abortion policy. Now it is. Now it's important because it's a healthcare concern and people are dying. So it is important. But again, like it's insane. Yeah, Stephen, I don't. The economy is looking really weird right now, for sure. Perception of Joe Biden. Shares of voters saying that Joe Biden is too liberal. Oh my God. Share of voters saying Joe Biden is too liberal. That is, again, I don't know, man. That is wild. He was literally just passing less legislation. Perception of recent Democratic Party presidential nominees. Barack Obama, share of thought the Democratic nominee was too liberal. Wow, that's crazy. Democrats share of voters who thought the Democratic nominee was either about right or too conservative. Recent losing Democratic nominees were seen by a majority as too liberal. Oh, okay, so it's here. So liberal, so they're basically showing Barack in 2012 versus Hillary in 2016. So there is like a 6-point gap there and then an 11-point gap for Biden. Democrats have lost significant support among working class and minority voters. I think that is definitely true. Changes in Democratic support by race. Democrats have lost ground while gaining support among college-educated white voters. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, that is a big problem. That is definitely a big problem. Changes in the Democratic support by ideology. Declines in Democratic support among working class and minorities have concentrated among moderates and conservatives. So moderates and more conservative members of the... But even the left isn't voting for Democrats anymore. Bias of America's electoral institutions. They are biased against them. Yes, of course. Falling split ticket races rates have exacerbated Democrats' electoral problems, particularly in the Senate. Yeah, I can see that. 6 estimates of who the 2024 non-voters preferred. So these are non-voters, which is an interesting thing because these are the people that you could get, right? The non-voters is a big group of people. And yeah, this is right. Young voters did swing heavily towards Republicans in 2024, particularly young men. The swing towards the key takeaways. Okay, here we go. We'll just read this and then go to bed. Key takeaways from part 1. Democrats have moved to the left since 2012 on essentially every issue. I contend that. I don't think that's true. Democrats have also changed which issue we emphasize, putting less emphasis on the middle ground and the economy and more emphasis on climate change, democracy, abortion, and identity and culture issues. Again, I think that is a perception pushed by these algorithms and this disinformation machine. Don't think that it is that is what they've done. As we have shifted our positions and priorities, voters have increasingly come to see our party as too liberal, insufficiently focused on the economy, border security, and crime, and overly focused on climate change, democracy, abortion, identity, and cultural issues. No, it's just that the Republicans are better at using these disinformation machines than we are. That's the thing, is that the Democrats have to battle against their enemies, right? The Republicans. And then also they have to battle against the fake Democratic Party that doesn't exist. So they have to shadow box against some in positions that they don't hold, while at the same time having to box the Republican Party while they're flinging disinformation at them too. So it's like the Democrats have kind of like two opponents at the same time. And then at the same time, also the far left people, the online commies and stuff, they don't actually get involved at all. And they don't like vote for the Democrats at all. So there's no like support there from the flank. That's what's happening, man. People are just, they're pushed out. Voters now think that the Democratic Party is too liberal, then the Republican Party is too conservative. A significant shift from 2012 to today. And all of these changes have corresponded with declines in Democratic support among moderate and conservative voters, evidence that our party's shift to the left has cost us electorally. Those declines have been particularly large among moderate and conservative working class and minority voters, suggesting the doubling down on moving left is not the right approach for winning these voters back. Yeah, the problem is that people that don't think that the Democrats are going in the right direction is moderate people that think that they are going too progressive, and then leftists that don't like the direction of the Democratic Party because they don't think that they're going left enough. So that is the ultimate problem that in all these things. I'm constantly going to protest and discuss politics. Nice. Lefty. I think, I don't know. I don't know if Mamdani is, I don't know if they actually are going with Mamdani because of his political views. I think it's definitely a vibes election, and I think that's good. I think that we need, I think genuinely, as a policy wonk myself, someone that loves this stuff, I think that Democrats get way too caught up in this stuff. Like this whole, like what we should be doing. We should be changing, like, our based off of how do you feel? How do we feel? Okay, we'll change here. We'll change here. We'll change here. Just like, shut up. Just shut up. Just be chill. Stop. Fight for what you believe in. Take a position. Chill. All right? It's going to be okay. People are going to be upset about you with something. Just chill and fight for what you believe in. like they constantly like go in between positions, like, okay, how can we like change this? How can we figure this out? Nah, it's fake. It looks really fake. That's the problem. Culture wars are right wing, yeah, and we've lost a lot of the culture war. It does exactly rapture. It comes in, it's manipulative and lying, right? Because it's like, if democracy, if climate change is going to be the death of the human species, then why aren't the Democrats doing everything they can in order to help mitigate it? Right? That's the main point, and that's why everyone says the first thing that you say, oh, you care about climate change? Okay, well, have you ever ridden on a plane? And you're like, yeah. They're like, well, obviously you're not, you don't really care about that issue. So that is the thing. Honestly, why isn't everyone doing everything they can? Becca, I was genuinely going crazy in 2024 on the lead up to it, and because it was just like this idea that like the election was just a normal election. Like I couldn't believe it. Like everyone was just doing it, treating it as a normal election. We just got to keep it going. And I'm like, this is the end of like of basically of a presidency that I really enjoyed, in the fact that he was passing legislation that I really felt was actually making a difference. And then two, like, he's going to be more lawless and he's going to be more unhinged. And I never got the fact that I never bought into Trump taking Trump 2 as like a victory lap kind of thing. I knew that he was going to be vindictive and take it to 100, and he has. So I was so frustrated, and I still am, with how complacent everyone was, the Democratic Party was in 2024. That's why I'm frustrated so much with Biden and how he handled it. I'm frustrated with, I'll say it, like my fellow Democratic voters, dude. I have no idea what everyone else was up to. I don't no idea where they went. I have no idea where they went from 2020 to 2024. I have no idea like they were talking so many millions of people that did not show up. And it's like, in what world, man? In what world, dude? You guys, I don't know. I feel like we just failed each other. We just failed each other at the same, we did a bad thing for one another. And now we're eating it. It's going to be a lot harder to fix now, but we'll persevere and we'll fix it. But it is insane. It's insane. Yeah, Teresa, I think that this is a good way of putting it. Yeah. Yeah. Ali, I agree. No way, Souls. Nice. Souls, you sent 20 emails? No way. No way. You are incredible. Are we in 312? We're in 312? Awesome. Dude, you are amazing. So let's give it up to Souls, guys. 312. That's amazing. In 3, 2, 1. Oh. Nice. Engage.drgregshow.com. That is where we are organizing in order to try to stop the 423 anti-science MAHA bills that are happening in the states right now. We have a tracker that we watch these bills on, and we are trying to stop them as much as we can. And that's it, guys. That's what we're doing. So thank you, guys. 312. That's amazing. That is so cool, dude. That is so. We just started this thing like a week ago. That is so amazing. Thank you, guys. Bare Necessity, if you're still out there, thank you so much. Huge one, guys. That's 50 tonight. That's amazing. That's amazing, dude. Thank you so much, Souls. You're awesome. All right, guys. I think that's another one. Oh, real quick. Oh, one second. One second. All right, guys. Thank you so much to the last super fan, Efon. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the super chatters. I really, really appreciate that, guys. If you can, hit the heart at the top there. If you could become a fan of the show, that really, really mean a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much to the top gifters of the night: Kathleen, Nightflyer, DN, Noble Sharon, Ducray, Teresa, Rapture. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thanks you for 100, 1,000, or 6,000 like Noble Sharon, DL Webster, Bailey, Helen, Cher, Mill RN, DN. Thank you so much to the Patreons, guys. Mrs. Dr. G, Ado, Call Me Ness. And like I said before, action.drgreg.show or action.drgregshow.com. Whatever one works for you. Thank you guys so much. Hit the heart while we go out, guys. Let's hit the heart. Give it up. Give it up for Mamdani. Mamdani. Got to get that right. He's going to be president one day. He's going to change the Constitution. Trump's going to change the Constitution and he's going to get Mamdani elected president. That's what's actually going to happen. Legitimately, that's probably what's going to happen. Anyway. Good day today. Good day today. Good day. Oh my gosh. One more time. Good day today, guys. Cherish these. Have fun with these. Push for these. And keep them going in the future, We did. It was a big day. It was a big day for Democrats. It was a good day for us as a MAHA rogue group. That was a good one. Getting an email back, being recognition. That was cool. So, let's do it again tomorrow, guys. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Bye. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. Have a good night. Have a good one. See ya. Bye. All right, YouTube. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Have a good night.